Yeah, another poor display by Everton. No fight, no leadership, uh, a lack of intensity. Every team now is playing with a press except Everton. They stand back and let teams come to them, inevitably get beat. We got back into the game at 2-1, but we're never as good as Palace. Palace were far too good for us, and Palace aren't a great side, they're all right, but poor by Everton again. Quite a few players uh, giving up the ghost and the heart's not in it. Is that down to the manager? I don't know. But he's certainly not helping, especially with some of his decisions. Those are yeah, they deserve the lead, yeah. They deserve everything they got because they were the only one team who really attacked and played with any intensity. Yeah, they played run-of-the-mill football, run-of-the-mill football. And Everton gave the ball away too much. They never attacked with any intensity. They had a couple of breaks, and they never to do much to beat Everton, if you know what I mean. They didn't have to be at the best to beat Everton, which is a shame, really, if you never told me. The, the manager isn't setting up the side that people want to see. He's, he's lacking ideas. He's never been the best manager for me to put out a side who's going to entertain. He's very pragmatic in his approach. Everton looked a shambles, to be honest with you, every one of them. And go on, go on. Mm-hmm. No, I can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we're only missing one player at the moment, which is Calvert Lewin. And the rest of the squad is, I hate to say this, fit, deemed fit. I don't think they're fit for purpose. But what's happening is he's not getting the best out of them, Rafa Benitez. There are players there who are giving it all, and one of them is Richarlison, who he's not everybody's cup of tea, but he does work hard. And he dragged him off, and you could see whether Benitez come up with this idea that he was injured. He might be carrying an injury, but he did not want to come off, and Benitez still dragged him off and put Rondon on, who scored, by the way. So people will shoot me down here, but you can't bring a Rondon on for a Richarlison and expect to get anything out of the game. I'm sorry, it's just not on. No, he's certainly not my hero. He's he said, yeah, someone said that, but it certainly wasn't me. Awful player, absolutely awful player. Not fit and not fit for purpose is more to the point. And Everton deserves to get these because he's come. No, he's not fixtures. He's getting fitter. Did you see the shape of him when he first come? He looked like an overweight old man. He really did. Well, he had a big paunch. Well, yeah, I think I'm actually better than Rondon. I think I'm actually better than Rondon. But uh, but if you watch the game, yeah, 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 I think he's doing all right. Yeah, I think he's doing okay. I think he's doing okay as well. I think he's proved to be a better manager than I thought he was. That's, no, and yeah, yeah, yeah. And now you're trying to make excuses for him because you rate him as a manager. I don't personally rate him as a manager, but I don't wish the guy no harm. And you're defending him, and it's not as clear cut. Yeah, I agree with that. No, I agree with that. Abid. Yeah, very dead. Yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's great. He brought them in, and even Townsend has done a good job. The two players he brought in has done very well, and I'm not blaming him per se for Evans' plight, but I just don't think he's helped with his approach to the game, his substitutions, his lack of wanting to bring a young guy on when you need that bit of energy to get the supporters on board. I don't. I think he's so wishy-washy in his attitude to the team. I think he'll get replaced, and I won't be sorry to see the back of him. I'll be honest with you, because he just isn't doing the job.
Sorry, say that part again.
Is that what you think, Rob, of the Everton situation?
Yeah, I mentioned it last week. I think that Rafa might not be the fit after all. I still do like him as a manager, and I still wish good things for him. But the longer it goes on, the worse it's looking. It looks like it's inevitable that there's going to be a change of manager soon.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'll mention again. I'll say the exact same thing. I've got nothing against Everton. I do like them. I do like the rivalry. So, as long as they're not finishing above us, I kind of wish them the best.
And what do you think, Barry?
Um, just basically what is all said. I do like Benitez. His time at Liverpool, I know he could be very stubborn, and some of the substitutions were a bit like, what? Why is he taking him off? Why is he putting him on?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
you need a little mate, to be honest with you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no. Just as the lads were saying, I don't think he's going to last. Um, when he was at Liverpool, some of his tactics, and I know he could be very stubborn as a manager over certain things, and also his substitutions could be a bit strange. And I often questioned him, even though I loved him. But I don't. Yeah, what the lads have said there is right, though. The injuries have kind of gone against him a wee bit. I feel he hasn't had a full squad, and if everybody was fit and he had a good run of it, things might be different. But again, I agree with Billy. He's not helping the situation.
Yeah.
No, Tristan looks like a very young. What was that? Ben Elton.
All right.
No, did nobody ever get that? No,
No.
no.
Not sure who that is.
More Penfold of Danger Mouse, I'd say, but that's only my opinion.
I'm googling that right now.
Google Ben Elton, the bald Ben Elton. Yeah, Penfold. I used to love Penfold. Didn't Terry Scott do Penfold's voice?
He might have done, actually. I think he did, yeah, buddy, yeah.
And it was David Jason did Danger Mouse.
Yeah, he done Danger Mouse, yeah. Terry Scott, I think it was. Terry Scott.
Terry Scott, Terry and June.
That's it. I think he's going to go. You get beat by Chelsea and then you get beat by Leicester and he'll go down. He'll give them 2 more games for me.
I think he's got 5 max. Yeah, five games max. And if the results aren't picked.
Put your sound up, Barry.
5. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, 5 games max and Benitez is gone.
Yeah,
max.
I reckon it's just a handful of games. I think Billy's spot on. If he loses the next couple in a row, I reckon he'll be given the axe. So I don't think he's got much longer left.
No. He's got no money. No one's got any money. Everton have got no money to give to any manager who comes in. No, they're going to go for a couple of loans. We can't get players because we're so close to financial fair play rules. We are going to get a couple of loans in or a couple of free transfers. That's the only thing Everton can look forward to. We won't actually be buying unless we sell either Calvert-Lewin, Digne, or Richarlison. We will not be getting any permanent signings in. I can tell you. Possibly, yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah, I think he's right. I'd agree with that. I'm not defending him. Yeah, well, things have got to be done. But he's got to get the chances made for him, and the midfield aren't good enough to make chances at the moment. There's only Damari Gray, possibly Townsend doing the business. Decore's been very in and out. I think he's still carrying an injury. There's not much there to give him service. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I like his last year. I don't like the ball he played for their goal, but that's beside the point. But he's a very good player. I really like him, and I like his attitude. But we need more Demarai Grays and less of the other load of shite, to be honest with you, that we've got there. No.
Just the highlights. Yeah.
I hope so. I really hope so. I don't like Watford. I don't. Brentford are going to be down there, to be honest with you. They're getting some good results, but they're going to go on a run where they play some decent sides, and they're going to get beat on every time.
Too bad that couldn't have happened against us, Phil.
How about now, Deeps?
Oh yeah.
Is he back?
He's listening.
Who's Deep?
Can't hear us.
Why isn't he, if he's listening, why isn't he taking part?
Nope, still
I don't
can't.
know.
No pay for Deeps today.
Yeah. His fees going to charity.
We're not thinking paying him.
Right, go on to the games, Ahmed. The other games.
Yes, mate. Okay, so, all right. Man City Wolves. Now, I didn't watch this game, but I know it's full of incidents. So, somebody want to give a quick synopsis of the game? Brief highlights?
Well, there was only one highlight in the whole game for me, and that was the penalty come non-penalty. How it was not overruled by VAR is extraordinary to me. It turns out that the FA seemed to want to give all the top teams penalties last weekend to help them along on the merry way. And City's being the main one, it hit him on the side, bounced up and hit his hand, could do nothing about it. Not a pen for me. I don't know if any of you saw the incident, but it was laughable to me that it was given as a penalty. And, City looked very wishy-washy, shall I say, very not like themselves, and they were very lucky to get the win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That's when Jimenez got sent off. Two yellow cards in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them for arguing, I think it was, wasn't it? That's right, he should be sent off a yard with the referee. It was his own fault. But, as I say, did anyone else see the penalty incident? Trish, did you see it? The Man City one. Yeah. And it, yeah, terrible decisions by VAR, and they're doing themselves no favours, VAR, with going back to decisions like that. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad to watch. Caught the highlights of the game. Didn't know the result until I watched the highlight and couldn't believe what I saw with the penalty. Don't know how that's given as a penalty when it hits him. Looked like just under the armpit or so as the ball's being played in. So don't know what was going on there. Very lucky by the looks of it to get away with 3 points. And yeah,
I think they got away with murder there on the weekend.
So, after Jimenez got sent off, did City look like they were going to score at any point?
They had quite a few chances for nothing of worthwhile note that you'd say, they could have got 4 or 5. which you'd expect against the 10-man Wolves. They never played great. They were very, not up to the usual standards. They never played well. Never played well at all for me.
Who didn't play well, City or Wolves?
Sorry. What were you saying, Abbott?
Who didn't play
You
well?
there, Abbott?
Are you going to join in or what?
Wolves done all right. They done all right without actually threatening City. They didn't look as though they were going to score all game for me. But City were very lucky. That's all I can say about that.
The £100 million man isn't doing too well either, is he?
No, he's not. No, he's Jack Grealish.
Jackie boy.
He's not doing the business for them. And I think they're going to regret spending money on him rather than getting a top quality forward. And
Is that
Why did they go for Grealish? Was it a case of we're going to sign him before anybody else does?
I think Pep was the one that liked him, wasn't it? Pep had it out for him.
yeah,
I don't.
What position is he playing?
Don't
Is he
see
playing on the
at the
left or is he playing as a 10?
I don't know. He's got a position. He's like a floating midfielder, and he's on the left. He's on the right. He's got no position. He's supposed to be the link man, I suppose you'd call him, but he's not linking with anyone at the moment. And he looks a poor buy for me.
Billy, he wasn't even the link man at Aston Villa, was he?
No, but he was the star man with them. He's not the star man no more. He's just another player.
He was a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Barry. Yeah, well said. That's exactly what he was.
That's what he was. He was the star man. He was the big getting the headlines. But when you put him in among the likes of Manchester City players, Liverpool players, Man United players, he's not going to write. He's out of his depth.
He is out of his depth. Yeah. You were right before about the big fish in a small pond, and now he's a small fish in a big pond. You know what I mean? He's just not good enough for a Manchester City player the way they play. I don't think he's got the right. Hasn't got the greatest attitude as well for me. But that might just be me.
And off the pitch now, he wouldn't be the sharpest tool in the box. Sure, you wouldn't.
No, he's not.
No. Do you remember? Did you see that interview he did?
Which one, Chris?
What was it? Did you see it when what was it? I can't even remember what it was. And you just watching it, going, "Oh my God, how thick is this lad?"
Yeah, he's done a couple of them.
Listen to our podcast every week.
but there was talk of him declaring for Ireland, and it actually got to the stage over here where we just went, no, just go, no. He was, will I or won't I? And it just got to the stage was, do you want to play for Ireland, yes or no? And if you don't, good luck, piss off.
I think he's got talent, but I don't think he's got a brain. That's he's a football talent, but he's a man without a brain. But
I don't see why they signed him when they had Bernardo Silva. I just don't get it.
No, I don't either. I don't get.
Why would they want to pay a record British fee for a player in a position they've already got, who's probably one of the best players in the world at that position?
But that's what
Man City.
That's what I'm asking, Abbott. Did they buy him because we are Man City? Let's just buy him for the sake of it.
Maybe, Bazza, you may be right. They might do an AC Milan in the 90s. How they used to buy all the talent up so nobody else could buy him.
Absolutely. I think that's what they did. I firmly believe that they bought him so as nobody else could have him.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who else could have afforded him though for 100 mil?
Yeah,
Nobody.
Not many at all. You're right there. It's a good point. Who could have afforded him?
Yeah, but who was interested in him? Really was interested in him?
I wouldn't.
No one.
Both Manchester clubs.
No, United weren't in for him, were they?
No,
I'm not sure. I'm not gonna
I think it was just City from day one, Rob.
and they decided to spend 100 mil on him.
Yeah.
So, look, they've got money to piss down the drain by the looks of it. I mean, they decide to change their fullbacks every season and spend 200 mil there. So, you know, they're that club that has a leisure of doing so, and good luck to them. That's the way they look like they conduct themselves.
but you
They
know,
can
like-
afford to just.
Rob, yeah,
Yep.
I hear you. Sorry, Rob, I didn't mean to interject.
Yeah, you're right.
He did.
I did, though, sorry. Rob, sorry,
Come on,
mate, you
Ahmed.
finished.
I take that as a yes because he's not saying anything.
Rob, can you hear me, mate?
Oh, yeah, I can hear.
Sorry, mate, I didn't mean to. I was just apologising to you for.
No, that's
for
fine.
butting in.
No problem.
I think Baz is right because they've stockpiled players over the years, and like that's it. Yeah.
That's it. That was the point you were making.
That's it. That's the point.
He's falling asleep here.
Watching you quiddling with that thing for the last half an hour has put me to sleep.
Right, that's enough about Manchester City. Lucky win. Let's move
So, where do you think Man City's gonna end up? 1, 2, or 3?
first.
Oh, it's all gone quiet.
I'm going for Manchester
City to win the league if the AFCON comes off. If the AFCON doesn't come off, Liverpool will win the league. That's tricky.
Yeah, but guys, let's talk about the AFCON. That's a good segue, actually. You say that about Liverpool winning the league if there's no AFCON, but it's only 2 league games, right? Now that they'll miss, guys. Rob, Bazza, Billy, do you think it will make that much of a difference to... I think it will harm Chelsea and Liverpool more than it will Man City, but do you really think it will make that much of a difference to the final standings? The AFCON goes ahead.
I can make
The final standings in the Premiership. What's that, mate? Say that again.
That's better.
We couldn't really get your point there because your mic wasn't going through very well.
Sorry, mate. Yeah. What I'm saying is, what I'm asking is, will it really have that much of a detrimental effect on teams if the AFCON goes ahead, and will it affect Liverpool that adversely? Because it's only 2 league games against, I think it's Brentford.
It's only 2 league games, Abid. You say it's only 2 league games. We've got before and after that as well.
There's going to be a quarantine afterwards, certainly. Probably
You have to go on quarantine before. So you could be looking
Haven't they just
for maybe 5 games. Liverpool without another team. They're not going to win the games. They should be without defensive players.
But haven't they just come off the red list? The African countries?
Come down to
Yeah, the British government just changed they're just changing regulations today. The UK government just changed the regulations today about taking 12 countries off the red list. So if the African countries are on that red list, they don't have to quarantine.
if we drop some important points during that point in the season, that could be the difference that that separates first from second. So it is a little bit of a worry. It does turn to 2 to 3 to 4 games and such. And you know, we've seen it one loss, one draw can make a difference. So it's going to come down to the wire in terms of where they finish. It's still hard for me to predict at this stage of the season. Who's going to finish 1 and 2? I do think the AFCON might play a part in that. But like I said, it could be a point or two, but I can't. If I had the gun to my head, I'm going back to Liverpool. But anything could happen when it comes to top two.
I think Chelsea's just outside of that. I think they'll finish third.
But
Yeah, I
when it comes
agree with that.
when it
When
comes
it
to
comes to 1 and 2, it's really tight to call.
Bazza?
I know Abbott
You said it's only 2 games,
but
but
as
as
Rob
said,
it's not
just 2 games,
it's
it's 6
6
points.
And
Yeah.
you
Lose
Mane
Mane
and
and
Salah,
Salah,
who are game
winners under their end story,
right? For 2 games. That could be Liverpool lose that game. So that's 6 points gone. And I think that's
it's not just
the
like games,
it's the
it's the
point.
points.
And it is fine margins. And there's no way, just as Rob said again, I can't call it. I'd love to say Liverpool, but I can't call it. I don't think Chelsea will win it. Because one of the reasons why I predicted I said 2-1 for the Chelsea Leeds game last week. I just don't think their defense isn't brilliant. They're not organized as good as they could possibly or maybe should be. So that's why I'm knocking Chelsea on the head. But with us and City, look, whatever.
Fine margins, Barry.
Big time. So yeah, after the AFCON, well, if it goes ahead, it's not good for Liverpool. No.
So, Bazza, don't you think that a forward line of Firmino, Jota, Minamino, Origi is good enough to beat Brentford and I can't remember the other team we're playing? You don't think that's good enough to beat them, no?
No, I don't.
I didn't hear one word you said, Adib.
Sorry, mate. So you don't think a forward line of three or four of
Firmino, Jota,
You're not coming to
Minamino, Origi. Sorry? Okay, can you hear me now?
I think what you're saying is a forward line of Firmino, Jota, Origi, and Minamino could do a job. He could do half a job for me, but without Salah, without Mane, who's not one of the best side in the country.
No, not at all, I agree. But what I'm saying is I think the players that are going to be substituting for them could do a job and not lose 6 points. They may not win 6 points, but I don't think they'll lose 6 points either. And just remember, we've got City and Chelsea to play as well, so there's 6 pointers, proverbial 6 pointers as well. So all is not lost if we get 2 points out of those 6.
The mentality might change the
Opponents as well when it comes to those games and
the teams
that we do play against
that
that maybe normally don't think that have much of a chance to beat us. How they're going to go into their game thinking, well, hang on,
their
two best players are here, two players that score them goals week in, week out, we can get out of that today. It can make a big difference.
Do we know
But Rob,
Do we know what teams they're going to actually play
in the Premier League
on them given days? No difference.
yeah, but Rob, didn't we?
Last, I don't think they were, no offense, but big teams. It wasn't like, I don't think they're missing any of the big games.
Did Bobby play against Barcelona?
I've seen other teams, other small teams, or whatever the word is, so I don't want to be disrespectful to them. You've seen other lesser teams, and they come up against us.
Who were the 2 players missing against Barcelona? Salah and who? Hey guys, let me just ask you a question. One of the best games Liverpool have ever played in the Champions League, the best comebacks ever in Champions League history, wasn't that played in that Mane and Salah, or Mane and Salah and Bobby?
it's hard to pick up anything?
I think you're saying,
I think he was saying one of the greatest comebacks was when we didn't have
Salah
and I think it was Firmino in the Barcelona game.
Well, no, it was Bobby. Salah didn't play either. Salah didn't play that game, and it was
Definitely didn't play.
never give up, right? So Salah didn't play, and I think one of Bobby or for me, Bobby or Mane didn't play, and we beat the great Barcelona side. So, well, I'm being ironic, but do you get my point? I mean, it's just Brentford and someone else, some other lowly team. I'm not sure it's an insurmountable task.
It might not be really well for us, and almost, if we are playing some easier opponents, it could go our way and we could get through that patch.
Yeah.
No problems and end up with all the points, but it just as easily go bad. And you can hit a slump at that stage. You don't have someone like Salah who, in my opinion, is the best player on the planet.
Get involved, man. Get involved. You're not going to fix it. Just get involved. Mate, you know what? Chelsea are the ones that are going to have to worry because they're losing Mendy, and their substitute keeper is not the greatest.
No, it's a fair point.
Chelsea don't lose players as well. All teams are going to lose players.
But it's
It's going to affect Liverpool more than most, that's it. Because you should be going to be the team you lose.
you know, would it
really massive for Chelsea. Can we get massive in as first right place? Yeah.
would it
It massive becoming someone about keeper.
What? Kepa? Kepa? I don't think either of them are that good, so it doesn't make much difference. Well, Mendy got this massive reputation for saving a load of balls that we just hit straight at him. Not one of them was an actual good save. It just hit him. It was just what you'd expect the keeper to do. And now he's being found out. His kicking's terrible, and he's being found out as the dodgy keeper. And Kepa, we already know, is dodgy as hell. So I don't think it makes much difference for them.
No, I don't.
In fact, if anything, Kepa's improved a lot.
I've noticed that as a bit of a trend,
Especially in the Premier League when it comes to a keeper that'll pull off a couple of saves that are pretty straightforward. The media gets on your back and talks about that there will be as it's happening. Ramsdale, Mendy, Martin Nunes.
Nick Pope's had it as well in the past.
Who's that?
It's always been that way. It's because the media don't actually know anything about the game. Abid's fallen asleep here, I think. Should see the fucking bags under his eyes. He's got suitcases under his eyes, Abid. He's fallen asleep.
That's a nice little natural segue to the Chelsea versus United game. Chelsea 3 leads 2 with a apparently dodgy penalty calls, which I didn't see. So watch this game. Basil, why don't you take Basil? Did you watch the game?
He's set to go.
Rob, did you watch the game, mate?
He's asking if you watched
You must have seen the fight at least.
Rob?
Sorry? Sorry, man.
Rob?
Really? Is it still quiet?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear us now, mate? Just a second, guys. Tristan's going to do something again. It's going to muck it up even more.
Don't think I could make it What the hell is going on? This should be fine.
Tristan's going to make it a heck of a lot worse. Just hold your horses.
Honestly, boys, it's
it's not good to sound quality. We can't even understand. It may not come through alright to each other, but we can't get even trysts because we're breaking up all the time, and it's we're getting half of your seconds.
Looks very hard.
Okay, give us a second, guys. Can you hear us? Give us 2 minutes.
Try now.
It looked like the officiating over the weekend was really bad in general. I know, I'll be honest, personally, the only game I got to watch was the Liverpool Villa game, and that officiating in that game drove me crazy, but from the highlights and everything else I saw throughout the week, the penalty decisions and such didn't look like the officials had a good week.
I was joking with the lads on the side that Liverpool lads the top big four got good penalty decisions and we were trying to some of the penalties, especially in the Chelsea game, I don't think Liverpool was clear cut.
There was no way that was
It was as clear cut as penalty you've seen. I've seen it taken down before, the same sort of challenge. But as you say, the officiating, each one got something taken for the race at the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I can agree with you on the one. I do think it's not clear cut. You see something not given.
that challenge wasn't a penalty.
Being a fan, I was very happy that we didn't get it because we only went on to win 1-0, but other than that,
I never seen the Liverpool game. There was an instance where it was believed to put a bit of penalty.
Yeah, can you hear me?
misjudged the ball and came out and swiped with his hand. Seemed to hit Denny's.
What did you do?
And
You just left it how it was.
there was way to play on and nothing was given.
Because I didn't see the end of the game. Seen that bit of the game, I didn't see the end. That could have been given, you know.
Mate, you must stick your headphones on.
Decisions, so I think
I mean, I guess it's football, but you'd think, we've spoken about this multiple times, you'd think with the technology and stuff that they have in the games today, that you'd be able to, cut out all those errors, but they just seem to either be getting worse or they're making them.
yeah, to compound, especially the, as I say, the Man City one we're seeing for space for decision. The 3 penalties in the Chelsea game were clear cut either.
Somebody talk us through the Chelsea game, please.
Yeah, go on. I can hear you now.
I'm sorry?
Are you speaking a bit there, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Just
Can you hear us, Billy?
We're just struggling to hear you.
Just give it a minute, guys. Tristan's gonna
Break it again.
just really fuck it up now. Send him a message on Discord and say you're messing with it.
In normal, did look to be dodgy to me.
And you couldn't be given either way. You went clear cut, that way you went clear cut. And that's got 3 points out of that. And they were lucky to get 3 points out of it. Lucky to got 1 point out of it. If you look at the decisions for the rest. Just say, well, you did the referee over the weekend. Just told us that you've seen it.
Well, it just seems to be getting worse. I mean, I'm pretty sure at the start of this season, we were talking about how it looked a lot better.
Yeah, it did.
Over the course of the season, it just looked like it's getting worse and worse.
They are supposed to clear things up, and it's not doing the rules, because people are still making the decisions. They're not the correct decisions half the time. If you can't be like that and there are multiple looks at it, constantly stronger in your advice to the referees.
Can you hear me, guys?
sometimes you watch a game, you can clearly see the balls come off the defender, or when defending teams for a corner kick, and the referee can't even spot that as a,
You should stick to drinking so you're good at that.
what the hell, man? Sorry obvious to see, but it's
And
really
it's not just that, Rob, it's the linesman as well.
And
and then
You know, and when this corner line is off, offside, and then not putting the flag up.
Tristan's doing poppers now.
Was one in the game at the weekend.
And they're gonna, if they keep it.
Keeper tried to drag him down in the net.
They can't hear me. Cool.
And you know, that player could be out for the season. It could cost titles because the wind didn't pull the flag up.
When,
And he knew he was offside.
yes, you knew.
He was offside. And he was throwing his flag up after he'd gone through.
He could have
Could have got injured to him. He should have waited to offside to the flag up.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yes.
if it's a tight offside call, then maybe you can understand.
They just talk.
Maybe don't leave it to the VAR to review it, but when a player is through 4 yards, clearly offside.
Raising the flag.
Slow on the game. Slow on the game.
Like you said,
You're gonna
have a defender that's make the lunging tackle to try and save it, can put someone in harm. You have the keeper, put someone in harm. Pull a hamstring, you never know. So that is another peeve of mine that
Yes, none of it gets sorted out. The linesman and the referees have got it. Fishing company's been very poor.
it has, definitely has.
Well, it sounds like these fellas are struggling.
Well,
Doesn't it just, yeah? That is all in a fish tank at the moment.
so we'll be on the water.
Wow, fucking hell.
Can you hear us, guys?
Warriors need to give it up and try.
Don't you think them Dixon and Warriors and the other one go up and play tables and
To make another cup of tea.
yeah.
Give us a second, guys. I think Tristan's working some magic. It's going to be even more garbled.
It's not gonna work. Oh, fucking hell. Can you hear us now?
Guys, can you hear anything?
No, you're breaking up all the
All the
time.
time, it's
It's not very good, though.
Guys are still
Oh,
doing
it's time to get. It's not gonna happen.
Barry, you
He's still with us.
Yeah, we are, guys. I'm just trying to work out how. Well, Tristan's just trying to work out how to fix the glitch.
Barry's gone anyway, so.
Sometimes it's gone anyway.
That was gone.
Yeah.
There's been a few games that's been cancelled, I've noticed, with the,
Yeah, Man United's been straight lines tonight, weren't they?
apparently there's, I think I saw that there was 42 positive tests of COVID,
which isn't
isn't good, doesn't look good for another lockdown looming, and, God knows what's going to happen, if the football or anything.
It's going to get worse in Britain. It's doubling on basically every 3 days in UK at the moment.
Is that
Is that a new strain, or is that a
That's the Omicron variant that's really spreadable, and it's really coming on strong now, and it's affecting games, and it could affect all the Christmas games. And to be fair, I think we could get teams taking advantage of it. Say maybe Everton plan for a side out, against a decent team. Do you say, yeah, we've got too many? I don't know. Might be being presumptuous there. Just say that because my team. Teams who are not as strong at this time of the year might have a few injuries. Like they play the Omicron card and say, we're lot of problems with the COVID. Say, no, yeah, we can't play this week. You might have a few injuries as well.
We're living through something, in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
We've never dealt with before. I mean, yeah, we've been going through it for 18 months or so, the pandemic, but when things like this happen, almost like you don't know what to do, you don't know what's the best choice to make. You just shut it all down for 2 weeks or so, let everyone have 2 weeks off, let everyone recover. But it's one of those things where you don't know what to do.
You just cancel the fixtures until after the new year. Because we're getting new restrictions
Coming in every day now. Basically, it's now transport. You've got to wear them. You've got to wear masks in supermarkets, in theatres, in events. You've got to wear them. And we've said that there's going to be even stronger measures adapted over the next few weeks. Does that mean closing stadiums, where people gather, pubs? I don't know. But something like that's coming. Where it comes, I don't know. But it's going to affect all, that's for certain.
Yeah. They've already shut it off in Germany, haven't they?
Yeah. Germany is in a bad state as well. People aren't getting vaccinated, that's the biggest problem. Some people are not taking up the vaccinations.
I would say the pandemic was more the problem was the actual virus itself than people not getting vaccinated, Bill.
Yeah, and I know that, Chris, but it does help to be vaccinated. That's a proof.
Can you hear us okay?
Pardon?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you fine now.
So it's alright now?
You are.
Oh, that's just in time to finish then.
I can't have it no more.
Guys, do you want to finish talking about the Chelsea game?
Yeah, go on, talk about the Chelsea game, please.
Yeah, because it was as you guys muted, it was a game of penalties, and they got a last one in the last minute or something, didn't they? And it was a bit dubious, and then it all kicked off. How did Leeds play?
Leeds were okay. I watched the game, and Leeds done okay. They done better than I thought they'd do. Again, Vina was very good, and he deserves something out the game. Leeds, for me. Chelsea were not of the best, but they got away with a couple of contentious decisions. You say, I've seen some of them doing it. I have never seen two like that given. They were, very slight touches. And I don't know whether that's the proper way for football to be played, penalties like that. It just seems to be going worse rather than better, the officiating in the country. And again,
I think...
Go on, about it.
No, sorry, mate, go on, you were saying.
No, I was saying, me and Robert are talking about the linesmen as well, who compounding things, not putting the flags up. A couple of instances where players have gone through, not giving offside, and there was a lunge from the keeper, could have took, I can't remember who it was actually, could have took the player out, could have been injured, because the linesman never put his flag up, and the man was 4 yards offside. Just stupid decisions of officiating like that is getting on people's nerves, certainly mine.
Yeah.
Rob, what do you think of the game, the incidents, the result, the bearing?
Again, I was just saying to Bill before. I only got to watch the Liverpool game this week. Did catch all the highlights that I went back and watched throughout the week. But look, the officiating, like I mentioned before, has been terrible all throughout. I feel like it's getting worse as the season's gone on. Especially the 94th minute penalty that Chelsea scored from looked really, a bit dodgy to me. I don't think that was much of a penalty in that. I can't comment on how either team played, but I'll take Bill's word for it that Chelsea was struggling. I can totally believe that Rafinha had a good game because he's a classy player. I really like the look of him. I'm pretty sure he got himself a penalty as well. He scored one, but he gave away one as well.
He gave away one of the penalties as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, there you go.
Did you watch the penalties, Trish? Did you see?
Yeah, Rafinha was the one. Rafinha was the one that slid in and gave away one of the penalties.
Yeah. Did you see the 2 Chelsea ones, Trish?
Yeah, Rafinha fouled a player in the box, went flying in. That's what the decision was.
Yeah.
I'm not actually 100% sure. No, it was the first one, Chelsea. The first one I think he gave away.
Yeah, but did you see the final one that he got Chelsea? Did you think it was a penalty?
I'm not convinced that any of the penalties in that game were ones, but I've only seen it once through, so you can't be 100% sure, can you?
No, but I'm with you. I don't think any of them were stonewall penalties, and 2 of them not even close to being a penalty for me.
What did you make of
Okay, then. So we pretty much all think that they were lucky because I saw the highlights. I didn't watch the whole game, so they looked lucky on the highlights as well. So should we move on to the Liverpool game with Villa? Liverpool 3, Villa 0.
Yeah, very much. Liverpool 1-0.
Sorry, mate.
Liverpool 1-0.
No, we won. Oh, sorry, 1-0. 1-0. My apologies. Just testing, Billy. Glad somebody's awake. My jet lag is kicking in severely. You look attractive at the moment.
Well, let's put our Liverpool experts on that. Rob, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, Rob, you watched it.
The first half was for me a bit of a ball fest. Terrible officiating. I'm going to keep bringing it up because I'm
awful,
as I said.
Awful.
But terrible officiating. It felt like it took for the second half until the game from our end got a bit more heated up. It looked like Villa after half time were happy to go into half time not losing and try and just salvage a point and defend until we pressed forward in the second half. We've made some good chances. I didn't think we played all that bad, but once the penalty went in and we scored, that's when Villa came for us, and they had me worried there for a while. Alisson looked a bit nervy most of the game. There was a kick into Mark. I know it's hard to call that because of he's just trying to clear the ball, but he kicked it into Martip, had the challenge on the little swipe against Danny Ings and such. But look, it's one of those games where we grinded out a 1-0 win. By the end of the game, I was really relieved. Good to see Gerrard back at Anfield. As he got his little round of applause and standing ovation or whatever it was. But look, just good to grind out a 1-0 win against Villa. They've been playing better they've been getting better results, I should say, under Gerrard since he's came in. So I think that was an important 3 points considering all the other teams top one as well. And yeah, we move on to Friday's game.
Yeah.
So didn't you think the most blatant, the penalty, the only one that really was a definite penalty was the challenge on Robertson?
On Nakamba or the one? Oh,
yeah, Nakamba, yeah. Because the one by Alisson on Ings, it wasn't really a penalty, and the one on Salah wasn't a penalty.
Definitely wasn't a penalty.
The only one that I thought should have been given was the one on Robertson, which was a penalty. He definitely got taken out.
No, but Mane got shoved as well by Matty Cash. I thought that was a penalty.
Yeah, it's one of those that's soft, I think.
I think it was a penalty, but it would have been a soft penalty. I think by the letter of the law, he had him by his shoulder, pulled him back. I think that's a penalty. And if he'd done that in any other part of the pitch, it would have been a free kick.
Yeah, but can I go back to what we said about last year? We're spending more time talking about referee decisions than what we are about ball, aren't we? It's getting that way. The officiating's that bad again. It's in the mire again. it's some bad decisions. There were a lot of bad decisions the weekend, and it's ruining the game for me.
My favourite part of the game, it's going to be pretty silly, but was the commentary I was listening to was the verbal masturbation over Tyrone Mings about how he's the best player in the pitch and how he's this and how he's that, and then when he against seconds gives away the penalty that loses him the game.
But it wasn't a penalty, Rob. That's the point.
It was a foul, though. It was. It would have been anywhere on the pitch. Again,
I don't think it was a penalty on Salah. That's the softest penalty ever. I mean,
it's a soft penalty, yeah. True.
He
shouldn't have made the challenge, is the point.
But he didn't.
He made a challenge he shouldn't have made. He didn't need to make. And it was his fault at the end of the day. If he'd have just stayed on his feet and jockeyed him for position like he should have done, there's no question, there's no penalty to be given, there's no decision to be made. He went in and gave the referee a chance to make a decision.
But it was no penalty. The referee gave that because he probably realised he's messed up 3, 4, 5 other times. That was no penalty at all. I don't think Mings was at fault there.
He did catch him.
So he shouldn't have done. He shouldn't have his feet as 2 steps.
Yeah.
But it was a very soft penalty to be given.
It was soft, but
not given. So, but as just said before, the one on Robertson was more of a penalty than what happened.
But Mings was awful, I thought, and Konsa was brilliant. I don't understand why they get so excited about Mings just because he's out of position and throws himself across,
there's a lot of block,
rather than actually being in the right place to stop the needing to make a block in the first place. I don't understand why commentators and pundits can't see that the player was out of position in the first place.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that Emi Martinez wasn't booked for time wasting.
No, I know. I mean, the referee only took action after the cop finally got on his back about it.
And why didn't the referee give any warnings to the Villa players for winding Salah up at a penalty? That really gets my goat. That does. When they try and put players off, that's just so unfair when they're taking a penalty.
Yeah.
Well, he had success. Emi Martinez had success of doing that against Rashford and co. And if he's not going to get reprimanded on it, then he's just going to keep doing it.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct, which is a red card, not a yellow card. It's not a warning. That's a straight red card.
Yeah.
And he should have got it when he did that against Rashford. I know it was funny. It was quite funny for for people who aren't Man United fans. It's hilarious. But still, he should have been given a red card for that.
Exactly the same with Gary.
Yeah. I mean, if players aren't going to get punished when they break the rules, they're just going to continue to break the rules, and we're never going to get a game where where referees have a chance to prove whether they can do the job because they're always under pressure because they're weak.
You send him off for doing that, nobody will do it again. It'll set a precedent.
Yeah, but that's what they've got to do, isn't it? Simulation is the same thing, be stronger, referees.
Yeah, Billy, you're right. Be stronger, show some kahunas, if you have to be over officious, then so be it. At least they won't do it again.
Yeah, put the letter of law down, set a precedent, send someone off for it, and it won't happen, as you said.
Yeah, a couple of weeks of being over officious and it'll soon end.
Yeah, totally agree. Now, what do we think of Villa? Guys, what did we think of Villa? Because I thought they woke up at 81 minutes and 91 minutes. They had two spells of about 2-3 minutes in the whole game that equated to 5 minutes, and everybody's calling them a damn good side. I thought Wolves gave us more problems than Villa did, and they were a worse team, a more inferior team than Villa.
I think what Rob said was totally correct before. I thought they'd come for a draw, I thought they'd settle for a draw, I thought they'd be happy with a draw, and it was only when Liverpool scored that they actually come out of the shell a bit and they looked the better side when they'd done that. But He set up for a draw. You can't blame people for going to... If you got a draw at Anfield to take cracking result, and that's what Gerrard played for. I mean...
Listen, our keeper didn't cover himself with any glory because he could have given a goal away 2 or 3 times, but I thought McGinn was very good for them, to be honest with you, after I'm remembering. I thought McGinn played really well for him.
Yeah, it's good playing McGinn.
I don't mind him at all, to be honest.
I don't think... Well, alright, would you be happy if he signed for Liverpool tomorrow?
Look, I don't know if he's the calibre of player, if you're going to be competing for Champions League titles, Premier League titles, but as a grafting midfielder, I don't mind him at all. I don't think he's a bad player. I don't mind him, but I wouldn't say I want him in our starting 11.
I don't think he gets into the top Chelsea, Man City or Liverpool side. I just don't. Maybe United, he'd do a job for United, Spurs. I just don't think he gets into the top 3, any of the top 3. I may be wrong, but that's how I feel. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's top 3 standard.
Yeah, I can agree with that 100%.
Billy, Tristan, what do you think, Rob?
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, me. I can't argue with that, to be honest. Much as I'd like to, because you've said it.
Get off my lap.
You don't ask me to sit there.
Okay, let's move on to the Man United game. Is it? What's the next game?
Oh, Billy, I love it.
Well, there you are, Bill.
I love it when you get dominant, Billy. Treat us like the bitches we are. Sit your fat ass down and say something.
Go on, Abed, where we going?
So Norwich 0, Man United 1.
Yeah, another penalty that decided the game, which seems to be the story of the weekend. United were very good. Norwich probably deserved something out the game. That's not being nasty to United. I think people all agree with that. Penalty on Ronaldo, yeah, it was. Did he make the most of it? Of course he did. But it was a penalty, and Norwich had a couple of good chances to equalise and maybe even get a sneaky win. But they never, United got the 3 points. I don't think they deserved the 3 points, but they got them, and we move on from there.
Yeah, De Gea made some good saves, and Ronaldo had a pretty bad, uncharacteristic miss at the end.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, very much so. Right over the bar. But I thought Norwich played quite well for Norwich. I don't think United were at the best, but I thought Norwich gave them a very good game. And good luck to Norwich.
You think they look better under Dean Smith?
I do, yeah. I think they've got more about them. I don't know why. Maybe because they're playing the Chelsea lad, what's his name? Billy
Gilmore.
Billy Gilmore. He played all right. He had a couple of good chances, and they looked to have a bit more about them what they did under Daniel Farke. And good luck to Norwich. They haven't got much, but they'll give their all, and he fought well. With a decent striker, they'd have a chance of staying up, I think.
I would. The problem with Norwich is, you're right, the firepower is lacking, but I just think no matter what they do, they're going to go down.
Yeah, possibly they will. But I think they've got a bit more about them now, Abbott, than what they did under Daniel Farke.
They did. They're more of a tighter unit at the moment. Yes, you're right, but I just can't see Burnley or Watford surviving the drop. I think Newcastle will survive it, but I just can't see. I can't see Watford and Norwich surviving the drop.
I think you're Freudian slip there when you mentioned Burnley. I think because
to be honest with Billy, to be honest with you, I think I like Sean Dyche, and I think he'd do a job for you guys. But I just don't want to see him go down because I think he's done such a marvellous job at that club. He's taken it from like oblivion and brought it into the Premiership and kept them in the Premiership. And I just don't think he deserves relegation.
No, you're probably right. But they have to, they have to start producing results. They got a good result actually for a 0-0 draw there the weekend against West Ham. But they've got to start getting points. They've got to get a couple of wins on the board.
Yeah.
Everton are on the way down there. Norwich are there. Burnley are there. Newcastle are there. And, there's going to be another team or two might get dragged into it. But it's going to be very tight down there and who goes down. And you've got to start getting points and you've got to start getting wins. Otherwise,
me and Tristan were having this conversation over dinner to who was going to go down. And I still think Newcastle are too good to go down.
I'm not convinced on that one.
Not too good, sorry. I think they're going to buy it in January and then they will be too good to go down.
Yeah, I don't know,
Rob, what do you think, mate?
I think they're in big trouble. I still think they're a really good chance to go down. I mentioned it last week about Eddie Howe. I'd have no faith in him to keep your team up with some tactics or something that he can pull out of a hat. So unless they, do spend the reported money that they do have to spend in January, I think they're in real danger of being in the Championship next season.
Yeah. I think we've said about, are they really going to splash all this cash on with Eddie Howe in charge? I think he's a temporary fix for them to get them up to next season, hopefully in the Premiership.
Yeah, but guys, right? They're 3 points behind, right? They're 3 points behind the next team, right? From the second from bottom, so they're 3 points behind the third from bottom team. If they spend 100 million in January, do you really think they can't claw back that 3 points? A disadvantage they're at. I just think they're going to spend lots of money and they'll buy good players and they'll climb up the league.
Do you really see?
Yeah, but they'll still have Eddie Howe in charge.
In the transfer window in January, I don't see them spending 100 million. No way.
You don't know?
100 million.
If I was Newcastle, I'd be going out and getting Nat Phillips from Liverpool.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
I think West Ham should buy him, personally.
And even West Ham.
Well suited to a Moyes team.
Plus they've got some defensive injuries at the back.
Yeah, they've got a few problems, haven't they?
Yeah. They're not a good side though, Trossard. They got beat 4-0 by what's been, Tielemans was back for Leicester and he made a big difference. But to get beat 4-0 by Leicester without even laying a glove on them, they're a poor side. And I don't think that any manager in this January window, don't matter how much you've got, is going to be spending 100 million.
Eddie Howe's
and they need to spend 100 million. But they're not going to, because I think Howe is a temporary fix for them, and they're looking to get away with this season to appoint a proper, decent manager.
Rafa.
Yeah,
bring back Rafa.
Eddie
I personally think they'll get Rafa.
Yeah. It's not easy for Newcastle. They're going to be in the mire all season.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I can't see them getting out with Howe in charge.
No, I can't.
That was a mistake for me.
Yeah.
I can't think of a worse choice they could have made, to be honest.
Yeah.
Abbott seems to think they're going to get out of it, don't you, Abbott? Is he still with us?
Say, Bill?
No, we can't hear you, mate.
What the music comes.
Have they gone or something? Have we lost them?
No, we're still here.
Have we lost you? Oh, no.
We're still here.
It's Abid we can't hear.
Sorry, we're busy eating sweets here.
Oh,
What were you saying?
Why?
What the music James? When the wine comes.
Oh, he can't get them.
Hey, save me some wine gums.
No, wish we had wine gums. Can't find them here. I think they
send you a
use
packet over.
pork gelatin.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
We'll get bootleg wine guns.
So go on, Abid. Who'd you go and spend the 100 million on in January?
Spend it on wine gums for me if you want. Or midget gems, I don't mind which.
Yeah, but Billy, they're looking at who did I hear that they were looking at? Newcastle United. You guys crack on with your illuminating conversation. No, I'm not. Who are they going to buy? Trippier, Kieran Trippier.
But he's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
He's not even better than what they've got. He's.
I was
but
going to say.
Billy asked who they were going to look at. Who they Ryan to look at? Look to Ryan.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying he's not going to change their fortunes bringing in Trippier.
Yeah, but they're not just going to buy one player. They'll buy 3 or 4 players.
Do you think so?
It's still going to be
I
managed
think
by
you might
Eddie
be wrong.
Howe. They still have a disorganised defence with Lascelles as the club captain, and he's shit. What? I just don't understand why people think he's good. He's worse than Mings. Makes more mistakes than Mings. More cumbersome, more clumsy. Worse on the ball. He really is just a poor man's Mings.
That's the worst insult I've ever
Did you hear the gospel according to Tristan Burke?
I was waiting for Rob to join in and tell me what he thought now.
What's that?
He's going to tell me Lascelles is his favourite defender ever and he's Hansen, like. That's what he's going to say now.
I've got him on the back of my jersey.
What did you say?
Go on, Rob.
I said I've got him on the back of my jersey.
Ah, right. So I thought you said something about you've gone cruising in Jersey. That was what I heard.
I actually heard that.
Yeah. That's what your holidays consist of, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, just going cruising.
Yeah, in Jersey. I hear you visit the States especially.
That's a segue into the Leicester Newcastle game, isn't it? 4-0. Did anyone see that coming?
Which one?
The Newcastle losing 4-0.
Losing 4-0, yeah, because every time Newcastle play under Howe, I'm going to be expecting them to get a hiding. They're going to concede goals because he's terrible at organising the defence.
I don't know why he took the
To me, the only question is whether they can score enough to save themselves.
But can they, without Sir Maximum and
King.
Yeah.
Wilson.
That's it.
Yeah. Wilson. They're 2 good players, I think. I think they're good.
Well, Wilson's injured all the time.
You can't do it without the service, can they? And they've got no service at all from that midfield. It's a terrible midfield. It's an Everton.
Poor team. Now, I don't understand the buy of. I know people raved about what's his name, the lad they got from Arsenal.
Willock,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They got him from Arsenal, but I mean, he wasn't even in the team. He was a sub because he wasn't good enough last season. Yet they went and spent 50 million on him. I mean,
no, they paid 50 million for him.
Whatever it was.
35, yeah.
Still, it's a rigging lot of money for that player that isn't good enough to make your team. But why spend it?
Yeah.
They panic bought, didn't panic bought, I think.
Yeah, it was just a case of let's just buy someone, and he did. You know, and the fans liked him because he scored a few late goals, so we'll get him.
No, that's 25. Willock was 25. I'm very sure.
25?
Rob, Rob, you got your phone? Rob, you got your phone near you, mate?
Because he wants to send you
yeah.
naked pictures.
Rob, can you just check to... Rob, my phone's on charge. Can you just check... Tristan's going to do it. We're going to just check to see how much will it cost.
Right,
Have a
okay.
look.
Go on. I reckon about
Of course it matters. You
25
said it was 50 million and
I was just getting,
exaggerating for the narrative again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was it?
I mean, I'm imagining like salary and stuff like that around there.
No, you're not.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying when they spend their money. Is 26.46.
Yeah, so it was...
25
Yeah.
plus
Yeah. Which is 24.5 over the top.
What other games were played, guys?
Where you going?
Leicester. Leicester beat somebody 2-0 or 3-0 or 4-0.
Was 4.
Who did they play?
Leicester beat Newcastle. 4-0.
Oh yeah, that's right. I am so jet lagged. You have no idea.
According to transfermarket.com, he cost 29.4 million euro.
That's 25 million
That's
quid,
about right,
mate.
24 million. Yeah, 25 million. But
What's the
going
next
back to that
game?
game, they had Tielemans back, which made a difference to Leicester. He brings energy to that side.
Who, Madison? Or you Tielemans? Sorry, Tielemans, yeah.
Tielemans, Yuri Tielemans. And I know Tris isn't his biggest fan, but he does make a difference to that side. He brings energy to them. And he scored a couple of goals. And Leicester looked a lot better side, but they were only playing Newcastle, so it's hard to judge how good Newcastle are. Leicester are.
I think Tristan rates Tielemans, but he thinks he doesn't get involved. He's not consistent enough. I'm pretty sure he
Oh
thinks.
yeah, I'm not saying that he doesn't rate him. Sorry, I meant to say.
Oh, he doesn't work back. Doesn't work defend enough.
Yeah.
But Madison's playing really good as well now, isn't he? He's woken up a little bit.
He played well the weekend, but he hasn't been great all season. But he did play well the weekend. But is that he's alongside him? I don't know.
Yeah, he's been stop-start. But Leicester, I don't understand the clamour for Brendan Rodgers. No, they're all giving him, they're all linking him with the big jobs, but they don't see that Leicester's only 7th. And West Ham are 4th. I mean, he can't even get into 4th place with that squad he's got. And they're all lauding him for the big jobs. I don't get it.
Yeah. Terry's been a big miss for them. The big black lad, what's his name? The centre half who they lost. Leicester. Help me out here, Tris. What's his name?
What's that, mate? Say that again.
You know the lad they lost from the back in the back 4.
Oh, for Fofa or for Fofa or something. For Fafana, yeah.
Fafana, yeah.
And Evans is out injured again. Evans has gone out injured again, so they're going to struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, they're 2 of the better players, and they are going to struggle. But they didn't struggle on Saturday against Newcastle. Sunday was against Newcastle.
Yeah, but that's Newcastle, and
that's exactly
that
what
school
I'm saying.
team to play against Newcastle the way they were playing.
You could have put out 11 deeps and they still would have beat.
Even Everton would have stood a chance of getting a result, well, maybe a point against Newcastle last week.
I wouldn't go that far.
But yeah, so I'm probably exaggerating there, let's be honest. Maybe not Everton, maybe. Watford probably could have, though.
Yeah, they're the second worst side in the world now, after Everton, I think. Might be changing my mind on that.
Sometimes you can, sometimes you
can't. Billy, sorry to digress a little bit, but I just want to gauge your antipathy and your frustration. Are Everton fans at the end of their tether with Rafa? Are we done with the Rafa episode now in all Everton supporters' minds, or do they want to give him a bit more time?
No, most of the supporters want Rafa out. I'll be honest with you, they do. I don't personally think it's all down to Rafa, but the supporters don't want him there at the moment.
Thanks, mate. I just wanted to. I'm more. You know, remember you mentioned it the other week, and I was absolutely flabbergasted by your comment.
Yeah.
That I was incredulous at the fact that how they could get rid of Rafa so soon. I can see it now. Not because I think he's performed really badly, because maybe he has, but it's because the sheer and utter contempt they have for him, and it's become more and more vocal and more apparent since you made that comment.
A lot of them were waiting for him to fall, and he's helped them along the way. You know, he hasn't done himself many favours, I don't think. And he's alienated himself from the supporters by some of the decisions he's made, some of the choices he's made for team selection, and some of his decisions with substitutions, etc. And I think the best thing for both parties now would be a partner of the waves. And I think it's going to happen either this weekend, midweek against Chelsea, or the weekend against Leicester.
Yeah, and then you can do that swap with Howe.
Yeah,
Be strange, be perfect. Howe's an Everton fan, and Newcastle fans love Rafa. It'd be perfect. It'd be quids in for both teams, I think.
It'd be quids in for someone, certainly not Everton, but it would be quids in for someone.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if you get Newcastle to pay you for Rafa,
yeah,
you could get some money, you know, get some money back off your FFP bill. Because you minus 200 million or something ridiculous, aren't you?
We need we need money in, but we haven't got any. Everton are in dire, we all know that. Newcastle are in dire straits.
Are they?
One of them, yeah. Both of them
Really?
are in.
Which one's Newcastle? Are they the guitar player with the stupid headband?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark Knopfler.
Yeah, Mark Knopfler, that's it. Couldn't think of his name.
He's my favourite.
He would be.
Mark Knopfler,
Is
yeah.
he Cruz as well?
I love Dire Straits. They're my favourite band.
They would be.
Money for nothing and your chicks for free.
That's Rob's motto in life.
Okay.
Wasn't that was one of the first songs ever on MTV, and it was on MTV Europe, but it was a dig at MTV, the whole thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were cool, Dire Straits.
What's the sure about that?
Any more games, guys? Because I'm struggling to stay awake.
No, I think we've.
That's no reflection on the podcast.
That's you two are boring him to sleep because obviously I'm too exciting for him to play. You know, I'm keeping him awake by jabbing him every time he starts to nod off.
That's no reflection on the podcast. I just want to contextualise it. I've got jet lag.
Trying to time the podcast today because of the sound production, but hopefully we'll get sorted out by next week.
Yeah, which dickhead was doing the sound engineering today?
Yeah.
Fucking useless he is. We need to sack him off and get somebody decent in.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we let him stay because he's the only one that can do anything out of the lot. He's the only one that knows what he's half doing out of anybody.
And he hasn't got a fucking clue either.
See, this is what I mean. You start paying people, you get fucking.
You get things done, yeah. I know. Well, I'll give you £3.50 and a packet of crisps, Rob. Next week you're doing the sound engineering, alright?
Done deal.
Right, boys, I'm going to get me dinner.
We having to eat what? Are we having to eat, Billy?
Pizza?
I don't know.
Fish and chips?
I'm yet to see. I've got to go in the house. I'm in the conservatory at the moment. Want to go in the house?
What's the dinner? What's the dinner, Bobby? Billy?
What? I don't even know yet.
He's in the conservatory. How posh is he?
I think it might
What
be.
the fuck is
cakes.
going on there? Conservatory, you snob. Tell you, you're not in Bootle.
No, she'll allow me to smoke in the conservatory, I can't smoke.
Now that you've said that, you're going to get robbed, Billy. You're going to get robbed. There's 1.5 people listening on the live chat.
I don't think Deeps can travel that far.
Right,
Because he's the only person listening.
I will see you next Thursday. Thanks a lot, boys.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll hear you eat it as normal, Billy, because we normally hear you chatting away to your missus after.
Thanks, Billy. Thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks, guys. Sit down now.
Take care, mate. See you next Thursday, yeah.
Can. See you next Thursday, Can. Rob, you still there, mate?
Yeah, mate.
He's not gonna leave you, Abid. He's not gonna leave you. Don't you worry.
Rob's gone as well. I'm broken.
It's just,
Rob, you still there, mate?
It's just close to 6
my
a.m.
Rob's still there. My Rob won't leave me.
Oh, what a night.
He's just waiting for the chance to serenade you now.
Rob, what you got for dinner tonight, mate?
It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, no, what are you going to have for dinner tonight?
Whatever my missus' mum makes.
This is like listening to. This is like being in the royal family. This, except not the ones not the ones that live in Windsor Castle, but the ones that were on the TV. Have you ever seen them, Rob?
What is it? Sorry. Who is it?
Jim Royal and that. I was just thinking. Barbara always says, "What do you have?"
Yeah. That's funny. Did you ever watch that?
Maybe.
Rob? The Royal Family.
Nah. I never really.
Rob, I haven't sung to you for ages, have I?
It's been a while.
He hasn't even been doing the pods because of it.
I'm not going to do one tonight. I might sing with. I might give you a serenade next week, mate.
I hope so.
He's getting excited now.
Mate, does your missus's mum cook for you?
Yeah, mate. She loves
Should we
me.
log out of this so we can have a private conversation? Because you need to chat him up, you know, outside of the pod, like. So we'll call it there anyway. So we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Thursday, guys,
Tuesday,
ladies and gents. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry for all the sound faults and production.
The predictions that he's not even going to come in for next week. What's he doing? We got this. Oh shit! Yes, this.
Is Rob still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Rob, are you still there?